What's up guys, Riley here, and today we're going to be trying out a brand new motor in the Black C10. So, for those of you that didn't know, the Black C10, which I have here, have the transmission out and stuff ready to be swapped over, actually already had a brushless motor in it. So we were running the Mofo RC SMP, great motor, has a awesome slow crawl, especially when you adjust it in the FuriTech Fury Car app, because we do have the Bluetooth with our ESC. If you don't have it, you should get it because it's definitely worth the money. Has an amazing slow crawl, but running 3S on this, I think my brother wanted a little more speed, and Mofo just recently, a few weeks ago actually, came out with a new motor. This is the ROP. So this one has double the kV, so it would be double the speed and power. Both are 3S capable, and I actually like the purple on this one better, and the Mofo logo. I really like the white on the purple. But we're going to be taking a look at this awesome Mofo motor that he has provided for the community. So like I said, it's double the kV. It's going to be double the speed. It's going to be a little bit more jumpy than this, because this is more of a crawling style. This is more of like a rock bouncer, I feel. It's got speed with it. We are going to be running the same gear mesh, or not mesh, but gear ratio that we had with the SMP. I have a few clips of the SMP doing some races, so we'll get some of those in there before, or get some of them in this video before we put this in, and then after we get this in, we're going to be doing some more races. I have my C10, my new one with a buzzsaw motor in it now, and we're actually just going to do some comparisons. It's for a base test. I know in the ones before, the test before, it was an 88 turn in the C10, and now I do have the buzzsaw in it, the 50 can. Just because I had to redo some parts of this video. But let's take a look at this motor just a little more. So this motor, I feel, would go great on a white Bronco. It looks really good. It's not too shiny, which I really like about it. It's got the little lines on it. I don't know what those are from, but I really like them. Talk about smooth. It's really smooth when just rolling it like that. Where this one, it's got a lot of bumps in it. So yeah, this one's nice and smooth. Like I said, same gear ratio. I really like these Mofo motors, mostly because of the way they're made, and you can see that Mofo RC logo spin around. Also, I really like the design on it. Right here, it's kind of like a rim, but yeah. So I'm gonna show the clips of the races. I think I did like 3, and then we're gonna do some slow crawling and some rock crawling. That'll all be in there, and then we're gonna move over to the ROP motor. So here we go. Alright, so I've got both C10s here. This one's running the stock motor, the 88 turn, and this one's running the SMP on 3S. This one's just running 2S because that's all it can handle. Hopefully I can get them spread out enough I don't run into the camera, because I'm driving both of them at the same time. So, the blue C10's a little ahead. See if we can get it lined up just a little better. There we go. Alright. Hopefully this goes good. 3, 2, 1. So, trying to keep them close to the camera is not going to be easy. but they're about the same speed. 3, 2, 1. So we'll do one more test, but I think the Mofo motor is going to be a little bit faster, especially running the 3S. 3, 2, 1. So, yes, there we have it. The Mofo motor is a little bit faster than the stock 88 turn, but that is a baseline test just to see how it does compared to the ROP. This one does have bigger tires, yes, but that's not really going to matter in this test. Alrighty, so time for slow crawl. I'm going to try my best. So there it is. Zoom in. I wonder if maybe we might be able to get it slower. Look at that slow crawl. It's probably as slow as anybody will go. We'll look at the change in it. There it is. You see that kind of speed up moment where it kind of speeds up from the slow crawl. You can mess with that on the app. So I go from, I'm having a hard time getting a slow crawl. There's your slow crawl, and then it bumps up. So we're going to be looking at that on the ROP too, and see how the change in slow crawl to speed up a little bit, whatever you want to say. We're going to see how that does. Now it's time to do a little bit of rock crawling. I'm not sure how we're going to show the torque difference between these. It just depends on how good the next motor is. So I'm going to do some rock crawling, and then we'll probably move on to swapping the motor out. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so starting off with the big wheels and the portals, this truck does pretty good. We'll do a good old slow crawl. That's one thing I'm going to have to test is the slow crawl. So there's the slow crawl right there. That is exactly why you get the brushless motor with the Fury Tech ESC. Is for that slow crawl performance. So, I mean, for this course, we don't really have any problems with low power. Not really power, just not having torque. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna try going this way, going the hard way. This does pretty good with the big tires and stuff. A lot better than the small tire rigs. But right there, we're binding up a little bit, but she's doing good. We're having a hard time staying upright. Let's see if we can just run this rock over straight in front of us. There we go. Binding up pretty bad. We do have a hitch on this for the trailer, so that is catching on the rocks, but not too bad. We usually don't have a problem with this motor. Haven't really truly put it to the test, I don't think. But yeah, we're gonna see how slow I can get it to crawl, and then we'll see how slow the ROP does when I get that in there. Alright, so there you have it. The SMP motor is just an absolute beast. What can we say? It's definitely worth the price. Now it's time to get this ROP in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it in there. We do have the aluminum motor mount for it. As you can see, I really like it. One problem I did notice with it is this little gear's actually rubbing on the screws behind it, and I can't figure out why. I took it apart multiple times trying to fix it, but I can't figure it out. So I guess we're gonna have to let it self-clear. It's not gonna do too much damage because it's plastic and it's not rubbing on the teeth. It's just rubbing on a little bit of the spokes, I guess you could call. The little spokes right there. And it's not too bad, but it is what it is. I tried to fix it, couldn't get it to not rub, but it'll be okay. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get this motor on there, and then we'll get it in the truck. Alright, so we have our beautiful setup here. It's time to get it in the C10. So
I'm gonna try and do this pretty quick, but lining these drive shafts up are a real pain in the butt, especially for this Enduro chassis. First one went on pretty quick actually. I like to put the back one on first because it's the longest and you get the most travel out of it, so that when I'm trying to put the front one on, the drive shaft doesn't pop out. So when you put the front one on, because it's shorter, it tends to pop out when trying to put the rear on. So there we go. I actually just pulled it out. As you can see, that's what I was talking about when messing around. Just because it's a little bit shorter, it does that. Alrighty.
So let's get this motor plugged in and try her out. So the first three tests, we're going to run it on 2S. And then the rest of the test, we are going to run it on 3S. Just because I think that's mainly what we're going to use. So, let's get on to the course. So I have both C10s here. Buzzsaw 50 and the brand new ROP. We are running 2S. We're going to swap it out for 3S after these 3 runs. So let's get into it. So I've got the Buzzsaw 50 versus the Mofo ROP now. Both running the stock 2S battery. Let's go ahead and see how they do. 3, 2, 1. So the black C10 with the Mofo RP had quite a lead on the blue C10. The blue C10 did get out of the camera. I tried to get it back in, but I wasn't able to. But yeah, so the ROP is really quick. It makes me want to question if I really only have 2S in it. But it is a 2S battery. It's a stock battery in there. So let's go ahead and do test 2. 3, 2, 1. So I was able to keep the blue C10 in there in the camera view just a little bit longer, but the black C10 still absolutely smoked it onto S. Keep in mind this is a brushless motor. It takes less voltage from a battery too. I don't know if that has anything to do with speed on it either. It could be gear ratio, and obviously tires, because the tires on that black C10 are massive. But let's go ahead on to round 3. 3, 2, 1. Alright, that was a lot better. I was a little squirrely, as you could see, with the green C10. But it is what it is. I kept it in the camera as much as I could. But driving right-handed is not fun. But there you go. There are your 3 tests on 2S. Let's go ahead and get that 3S battery in the black C10. So we've got 3S in the black C10 now. Let's see how she does. Alright, so round 1. 50 can buzzsaw versus the ROP on 3S. We're still running 2S on the buzzsaw because that can't run 3S. Sadly, I think it would be a beast if it could. So, let's go. 3, 2, 1. That thing just took off. I ran myself over and the camera. That thing was super fast, as you can tell. The buzzsaw is actually a little bit faster. Not super fast, but it's faster than the stock 88 turn by, I think, about a truck. But I'm going to be doing a review on that too, so stick around. Test number 2. 3, 2, 1. I actually just took a hard 90-degree turn right there with the green C10, but even before that, the black C10 absolutely dusted it. Let's see if we can get her straight. I know the steering on it is a little off. Test 3. 3, 2, 1. Nice. So trying to pay attention to the green C10. I ran into the camera with the black C10. That was a pretty hard hit, but it seems to be everything's okay. But I think the black C10 just dusted the green C10, especially on that 3S. It's got so much power. So it'll do a nose wheelie. I'm gonna be careful because I know one of the gears in the transmission is plastic, and filming last video it came out of mesh, so we had to redo it. So I'm gonna be a little bit careful with it this time. But now it's time to test the slow crawl on 3 and 2S. Since I already have the 3S in it, we're gonna go ahead and start off with 3S on the slow crawl. Then we're gonna swap it into 2S. That'll hopefully be better. So I'm gonna try my best to get a good slow crawl. But with the power of this thing, sometimes it's a little hard. My hands are kind of shaking. There's part of a slow crawl, but it's pretty hard to mess with. There's the slow crawl. So that's what you get brushless for. So yes, because this is double the KV as the then the SMP, it's not going to be as good of a slow crawl, just because all the torque it has. You can really see where the power kicks in trying to do a slow crawl. Just right there when you saw it was going from slow crawl, and then it kind of bumped up some speed. So you can mess with that on the Fury Car app. I think that's what it's called. You can mess with the throttle curve and make that better. But I feel like this is really more of a rock bouncer motor, so maybe we'll put that to the test. Let's put it in 2S, see if we can get a better slow crawl out of it. Alrighty, now we're running 2S. Let's see how we can do with the slow crawl. I get a feeling it's going to be way better. It's not as much voltage going through. There we go, there's that slow crawl. Right there we just hit a real nice slow crawl. It's practically not moving. We're moving, just barely. The bump up from slow crawl to kind of a higher speed isn't as bad, which you should imagine, especially with it being only 2S. So let's go ahead and get on to the rock crawling course. First we're going to do 2S, and then we'll run up to 3. So here we go, we're running 2S. Let's get to crawling. I'm going to try my best to keep up with the truck. I am driving one-handed. We're going to go the easy way first, and then we'll see if we can go the hard way. I'm trying my best to do a slower crawl. Almost driving off. Can we save it? Back wheels off. Alright, we saved it. Let's see how she does going down. These are kind of like steps right here. You got to be careful with that hitch on there, because we do have a hitch. So let's turn around. 2S power on this thing, baby. But let's turn around. Kind of go the hard way. Plenty of flex. This motor is not gonna give up. As you see, I'm still kind of having a hard time with a slow crawl. but keep in mind this is more of a fast motor. Binding up a little bit, which is expected in this area. I've never seen a truck not bind. Pretty tied up. Let's see if we can save her. There we go. I wasn't really on the truck with the camera, but we made it through. There we go. That was 2S. Now, it's time to put some 3S in there and do a little bit of rock bouncing, I guess. Got 3S in this beast. Let's see what she can do. I'm driving one-handed, and I will try and do a little bit of rock bouncing. Ooh, I don't know what that noise was, but we need to be a little careful. So, made it over pretty quick. We're gonna have to pay a little bit of attention. There we go. Let's turn this thing around. It's a little hard to turn it around without lifting up that rear end. Time to go the other way. So, I really think this would be a good motor for a tow rig style build, like we're getting ready to do. I've already got my truck pretty built, luckily, but we're still in the process on building another one. I'm having a bit of a hard time getting up this. I might set the camera down, but I think we're just gonna try and rock bounce it. I just need to get a good angle. There we go, got right up it. I'm surprised we didn't flip over as high as this thing sits. Oh, that was a close one. Let's see if we can rock bounce it. She does pretty good when you give it gas. You do have to be careful for that though. So we can't save it. Got nothing touching the ground. Let's see if we can flip it over and keep going. I don't know. It's going to be pretty hard rock bouncing this. There's a lot of areas where you tend to flip over a ton. Ooh, right there. We just stood a wheelie on top. What a great truck. I actually like the rock bouncing style of it. Let's see if we can get this over this little pile of rocks that I have. Don't want to get on that big rock, it just drops off on the other side. This right here really tests your clearance with your axles. And there we go, did it pretty good. So yeah, this thing's a beast, especially with 3S. It's like a little monster truck almost. So props to Mofo RC for this absolutely awesome motor. It is an absolute beast. Super quick. Also, awesome battery, Mofo. I love the compact size. It's only a 200 milliamp hour 3S battery, but it packs a punch. I really like it. Of course, the only other 3S we had was the Spectrum, and that one actually lost charging. I don't know what you call it, but it stopped charging after a few batteries, so that really sucked. Maybe it got the voltage was too low or whatever in it. But yeah, thank you Mofo RC for this motor. Let's go ahead and finish this video off. So, shout out, huge shout out to Mofo RC. He didn't send these parts down, I bought them, or me and my brother bought these ourselves. But shout out to Mofo RC. Thank you so much for the awesome parts. This thing is an absolute beast. And I'm happy with it. That would be a very good rock bouncer motor. So thank you so much for the awesome motor. We have a ton more parts that we got from him to do the builds. So we've got that one here. That's what that truck's for. And then we're actually building one from all the scratch parts we have. And we're gonna do kind of a competition. I know my brother's spending a little more. Mine, I think, came out around $273, counting the truck. I spent a little more than I wanted to because I decided to go with some Mofo parts instead of Endura. As you see, these wheels look super good on it. So thank you, Mofo, for all the great parts. I'm going to have the link for his Instagram, YouTube, and whatever else I can find down below. His website. I'll have the links to the part, the motor, and the batteries down below. Just to let you know, these batteries are so good. They have so much power. They're only 200 milliamp hour, so they're smaller than the stock battery. These are 350. Yep, 350. But we have two of them, so we have around 400 milliamp hours of lifetime, which should be good enough because when going to Bell's Isle, if you haven't seen that video, check it out where we took the RC trucks. Mine actually broke that day before I could get any video, so that really sucked. I had the Hyraxes on it at that time. But I think we only went through about a battery, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. Maybe we lost a battery around the end. I think we lost some when we were racing, or when they were racing. But yeah, I was able to get plenty of footage for that, so check that video out. But it's smaller than this, but it still has plenty of runtime, surprisingly. Because, I mean, that's a super small battery. 200 milliamp hour. So, just picture what that would be. It's more boxy-like. More of a... It's a lot thicker. It's not as flat as the stock battery. But so far, it's great. It comes with a JST plug. The regular... SEX24 plug and the balance cable piece. So that's the 3S balance cable piece, whatever you want to call it. I don't really know what it's called. I think it's just a balance plug. But yeah, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out Mofo RC, please. He makes these awesome parts. They are so good. His motors are super clean. And I can't wait to try out more. So stay tuned because we have a Buzzsaw 50 and a big block to do some videos on. So stay tuned for that. And we've got some nice wheels and stuff to go on this build down here. But yeah, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video.